Have you allowed him to go nose to nose with any dogs?
Well, I've only been doing it with ones that I like know.
No.
So that just like have
Perfect.
success.
Okay,
so
good.
I haven't tried it with.
Okay, good. And how often would you say like he's reacting?
Not every day anymore. Like it used to be every day. So
Okay.
now, yeah, a couple, maybe twice a week, maybe.
Twice a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
And is it, how far away are the dogs?
No,
when
it's like if they're close. He's not doing it from like down the street anymore.
Got it. Okay,
Sometimes
that's
he
good.
does a little judgmental thing from like across if it's like two Rottweilers and it's
Okay.
like kind of like extreme.
Yeah.
Like I do see
Got
some of, like,
it.
the judgment.
Okay.
That's the only time I'm unable to like get him like, and I'm I'm not trying to repeat his name, so I'm like like
Yeah.
all these. Yes.
Good boy.
That's
No, you
the
can
only-
repeat his name.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought.
Just not commands.
Oh.
So if you said like sit and he wasn't looking, you could keep saying like Hudson, 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 but you just can't say sit again. He's definitely ready for.
I mean, he's not judging like.
No, not at all. But we'll work our way up to him. So we'll see. Because once dogs get nose to nose with him, Akitas give off like weird judgmental vibes, I think. So it will be good practice.
Okay.
They just kind of like do a stare down and it sets other dogs off. He's really dog friendly, but like see how he's just like standing there with this dog right now, just like staring. It might set him off. So it'll be good to work through.
Okay.
Another thing I'm thinking that you can like replicate what we're going to do today is through dog park fences.
Okay.
So now that his distance is becoming shorter and these dogs that he's not reacting at, we definitely want more nose to nose interactions or like actual greetings, but I think it's really smart to do it through a boundary. Okay, so let's go a little closer. And just make sure you have his focus. Yep. Okay, now get his focus. See how he's getting a little bit more excited? So like if this were the dog park and you're unsure about him, he's trying to get to know Boo. Nothing is obviously negative that he's giving off, but it's kind of like, I think I want to play. I'm not sure. There's no negativity. Don't move forward until you have all his focus. Especially if another dog is clearly super interested in him, just make sure you have 100% focus. If you ended his socialization with this dog there, that's better. You want to end the socialization on having him with you more percentage mentally than half having him, half. Seems just all around way less stress than the last time I saw him. So that's another indicator when he is jumping up on you that, you wouldn't want to move forward in this kind of situation until he's chill. This is a really good area because obviously if you don't want dogs to come all the way up, he's good. But getting that socialization this close to dogs is what he needs. And think about on the street, you pass one dog and he only gets exposed to that dog for 10 seconds maybe. Whereas like if it's dogs just hanging out up here like this socialization, this is what he needs, more time with the same dogs, because his issues are trust, and you handled it perfectly. So like instantly whenever anything like that happens, you literally did not jerk. You stepped away, remember, moving with your feet, not your elbow, and immediately when you noticed, you try to shift his focus off the situation. And that's what I think is most important when you're in a situation that you can't control. All you can control is your dog's focus. So shifting that instead of everybody's moved to like jerk and get away and then the dog is still focused on the other dog, that was perfect. He did really good for that situation. So when things are this controlled, you want to start also, as long as this is staying stationary, you know that the dog isn't going to come up to him, you want to start giving him time to see if he can do this on his own.
Do what on his own?
Look back at you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Otherwise, you're always going to have to be on top of him. So like this, wait for him, see what he does, and if he's not, call him back. This is something that's super, super important to include during like the controlled training of reactivity, because the different levels of training are always one, will the dog do it with your direction? And remember last time I told you like how impressed I was just how he responds so well to direction.
Well, when we're like walking, he checks in. Yes.
Yeah, he's like perfect.
But I feel like it's like he's not so much because we're stationary and he's not used to like
totally. No, I think he's still doing amazing. Like he's checking in with you and being perfect, honestly. A lot of the times in a situation like this, it would be hard to just get a dog's focus once. Look at that little. No move. Sit. You really like him, huh? It makes it good for Hudson's training. But level 2 is always, will the dog do it on his own? You're doing the training not so that you can just be like, Hudson, Hudson, Hudson for the rest of his life. It's so that that becomes his new natural instinct. So in order to get there, you have to introduce that level 2 during training. Okay. I think so many people do level 1 during the training, which is the first step. That's the instruction I gave you last time I saw you. But now that he's doing so good with that, you have to introduce the level 2 so that you can get that in reality.
That's having him check in with me without him calling.
Yeah. So like if you saw a dog that's like walking like over here, they're not going to be coming towards you at all. So anything towards you, still get his focus. So a couple things. If it's just like a dog like Nobu right here, you can just watch him to see, what he'll do. The other thing you can always do just to be, if it's like a bigger dog, like a vocalizing dog, I would get him to check in, Hudson, yes. And then let his mind go back to the dog and see if it comes back to you. Does that make sense? So you just have to evaluate like how challenging that other dog is in that situation, but start to let his mind go. So if you do call him in an instance, always think about like, okay, if you are on top of him right away, yes, then let his mind go back to the dog and see what he does on his own. Yes, perfect. Yes, good. And you want instances like that more so that you know he's actually doing it on his own. Good boy, Hudson. Now call him back. So he did it. He wasn't really checking in on his own, but you can tell him. So when he can go up to the dog, get his focus first, and then tell him, go say hi.
Hudson, sit.
And I would make sure to wait until he calms down from the jumping first. Good boy. You just have to think like the real test now is where his mind goes after you give him the direction. If you tell him sit, look at me, where is his mind going? Is it going back to like jumping on you? Okay, then he's not ready. You're directing him to show him what to do. And then you wait to see, now it's like, okay, let's see what you do on your own now. Yes, that was perfect. Now tell him, go say hi. And he can sniff his butt. I'll hold his head. Now call him.
Hudson. Hudson. Hudson, yes.
Good. And if you're ever saying, Hudson, come, and he's not, just back him up right away. So you force him to snap out of it. Because if he's not responding to you, he's going deeper into his own mind. And each introduction, ideally, is just for like a second, then you snap him out of it. Ideally, you keep him at the 2 or 3 second sniff until he's snapping out of it more on his own and you're doing less. And this isn't a perfect world, of course, where you can control the other dog.
Hudson, go say hi.
Here, Nobu.
Hudson.
Good boy. good. Okay, so here comes a little dog, which he doesn't usually react at, right? Oh, he will?
Yeah.
Okay. But allow him to look, see if he'll snap out of it on his own. Just wait for him. And if he's not, call him.
Hudson! Hudson! Yes!
And now, if you had to snap him out of it, you did a level 1. Now you want to see if he can do a level 2. So call him again and tell him to sit. So the levels are 0, 1, and 2. 0 is reacting. 1 is you have to show him what to do. And 2 is he's doing it on his own. So realistically, he shouldn't go up to dogs until he's at level 2.
Wait, Hudson. Yes! Nice! Good job!
Yes! Good! Now tell him go say hi. You can let him come sniff him and call him right back. The second he gets to him, you're gonna call him right back.
Go say hi!
Hi! Now call him back.
Hudson.
Yes! Good boy! Do that again.
Say hi! Go say hi! Hudson!
Yes! I would say it's always good to have the treats in the beginning, especially because this is a new thing, to make you feel most comfortable too. Because realistically, you want greetings with other dogs to be, they're like nose to nose, but his mind is almost 100% on you. Because then he'll be desensitized of it completely.
Yeah.
It's really good because you can tell he's not comfortable completely with it, but he's at the perfect level where he's understanding to look to you. Good job. And so I think it's always better to have this first, then kind of give him the little push once you know he knows where to exert that uncomfort to you instead of on him. Then you can start to be like, okay, now your mind has to go. Because dogs also will get comfortable at this level, like, okay, I just need to stay on you, stay on you. But that's always better to have that first. So now we can just see if we just walk with them, let his mind go a little bit.
Yes! Good.
Come on, Nobu. Let's see. I know you want to play. You want to play with Hudson.
Hudson?
Yes.
Yes, good boy.
Good. Let's see what he does with, I would go off to the side right over here. Yep. Such a good boy. And then I would turn him like quick again so that he's looking at the dog again, just to see. Yay! That was so good. Oh my God, that was really good. To say, go say hi.
Hudson, go say hi. Go say hi.
Yes, that's perfect.